An end of an era in Steel Town. OC Kevin Patullo gets the boot, and I'm a happy Eagles fan today. So, welcome to another episode of Cinco Squad with me, our Grandpa Jay and Mikey. Fellows, what a wild card weekend.
Living up to its name.
It was great games. I mean, you guys were wrong about the Rams Panthers game. Panthers came to play.
They did.
But like we talked about when we were watching the game together, the Panthers made rookie mistakes in crunch time.
They lacked the maturity to close out.
Correct. And the opportunities that they had, you don't see from a veteran heavy team who's been in the playoffs, who's done this, who's been able to. So, biggest takeaway from this past weekend, we won't talk too much about Wildcard, we'll look ahead, but biggest takeaway, one take, if you had to say it, go, Jay.
I told you guys, nobody's talking about this Houston Texans team, and they put the freaking hammer down and said, you better be talking about us next week. And New England is in trouble because they have yet to play. They beat one team over 500, and now they're running into the team that's won 10 straight. So I'm super excited to see how that game ends up.
Mike?
Honestly, I mean, we talked about it years ago, and I think it's gotten even better. Parity is my word. And the fact that it was nice to see that even in the wild card round, the teams were competitive with each other. It means we have great teams across the board, and I'm sure we have some great teams, that didn't make it that could have also been competitive, which is very heartening as a football fan, especially as a football fan that, not a lot of high expectations for my own team. So it's nice to see that the league itself is looking better than it has been in a while as far as talent across the board.
Defense. It was a defensive matchup this weekend. We had some high-scoring games in like the 20s and 30s, but overall, through 4 quarters, defense came to play, and the best defensive team won. And crunch time. The crunch time teams learned how to win, right? So you had the Niners beating my team, and yes, we'll talk about that because, yes, the Eagles lost on stupidity.
Immaturity.
And
we saw it all season long.
But what's funny about the immaturity is the fact that they are the Super Bowl champs. They have the Super Bowl champ roster still there. They have great players, and you're running 4 seam routes that are the same patterns every single time in the final drive.
Not utilizing Saquon.
Not utilizing Saquon in the second half. In the second half.
Yeah.
They utilized him in the first half. He had 90 yards. Mm-hmm. Second half, he was nowhere to be found.
And then what did the Niners do? The opposite. Let's bring CMC in the game and make him a freaking X factor and good luck stopping our offense with a backup tight end who obviously didn't look like a backup because sometimes it works in your favor when your tight end's injured all year and he gets first team reps all year long.
So, I mean, and the biggest thing that you see the difference of is Kyle Shanahan. He knows how to grab players, and it doesn't matter. And that's why he's up there in this tier. Like, there's brackets, right? And he's up here with Reed, McVay, all these coaches. He just hasn't got it done yet and put a ring on his finger, right? He deserves to.
He really needs that.
He needs to, but the fact is that he is creative enough. He takes whoever he has. He doesn't matter. They were playing with backups on the defensive side of the ball. They had no one of notoriety on the defensive side of the ball. It's all like Kendricks was a practice squad guy, made the final play at the end of the game. Like, you have a lot of – I would say that's the difference between the Eagles this year against the Niners is the head coaching. Nick Sirianni's this rah-rah guy. He's a great locker room guy. He can hype someone up. But when it comes down to creativity, he's about as anemic as Kevin Patullo. And his colors are starting to be shown when there's not a good offensive coordinator in the system for the Eagles, is you're seeing his non-creative – non-play calling ass. Like, you see him, like, and you're like, do something, and he's just sitting there like not calling anything.
Help me, coordinator.
Ben Johnson, Kevin Patullo are 2 great points, and then you have Shane Steichen, who's look what he's doing in Indianapolis. Kellen Moore, look what he did with New Orleans. this year, even though it was a struggling year. Look what he did with that team. So
and it shows you that everybody's like, "Oh, let Gallimore leave," right? Not that big of a factor. Yeah, right. Like that guy is. Look at what he did with the Saints in his first year.
that's
with
what I said.
nobody,
That's
right?
what I said. Like,
So for me, it's more about coaches need to be the alpha in that moment, right? The Man Campbell would have been the alpha and said, "Fuck it, I can't rely on you anymore. This is a win or lose situation. Loser goes home. I'm taking over in the second half. I trust you, but right now it ain't working out." Like you have to know how to play your hand and let your coaches know. You know why head is in front of my coaching name? Is because I'll make the decisions when it's in crunch time and we have to do something right now. You're right. He was too complacent. He just watched it and he watched his freaking chance to repeat as Super Bowl champ just go up in flames in the fourth quarter.
because they had the defense to do so, and
Easily.
they did it all year. So I mean, when I look at like teams like that, when I look at teams like the Panthers. I mean, the Panthers are going to be watch out for you.
Oh, and trust me, I know that. I know our rating is over. Look, when you're division champ 4 or 5 years in a row, or 5 out of 6 years, at some point that's going to come to an end because every team is like, we hate losing to you guys. It's time for us to, and it always works that way. There's rarely a team that you have to be a dynasty like the Pats or the Chiefs to win 9, 10 in a row, right?
Yeah.
So it's not happening for us next year, and I know that already.
Yeah, I mean they are probably the team that impressed me the most was just their growth. I did not expect. Obviously, we said like in our predictions, didn't expect them to win that game, but didn't really expect them to be that much in that game. And I think Canellis has.
Whoa! I did
I
call.
said
You said we.
No, because you already established
I
earlier
said-
that you said.
Don't say halfway.
I said that I thought it was going to be a very
You did.
similar matchup to what we had last time.
You did, and they're getting better. Canellis, I think, is the right choice. Like he was the right choice to hire, and I'm excited to see what they are next year. I have a question about the Eagles. To that point, how many offensive coordinators have to be thrown to the wolves before we look at the overarching problem of Nick Sirianni?
I mean, he's a great coach. He's a great mentor. He's a great leader of men. But when it comes down to play calling, that's where it's just you don't
It's not
see
his
it.
strength.
You don't see that come out. Like when Kyle Shanahan is calling that play, that trick play, he's calling that because you didn't see it, but he ran an end around. Did you see the pass from Juwan Jennings? That's the stuff that Kyle's calling. Andy Reid's calling those
Called
plays.
it in the Super Bowl in the West.
McVay's calling those plays. He's just not that guy. He just won't. Sometimes he will, like in the Super Bowl last year,
Your old ball coach did when you won in 2017.
and that's about it. That's all he had was that 2017, so which is fine by me. I mean, I was cool with it. What is Nick doing? Oh shit! Okay, touchdown.
Hey, Mikey, I'll tell you what. I know you said that you thought the Panthers surprised you the most. I feel the heart that the Bears closed that game out with, like to have that much heart, to look around and see and realize there's 75,000 really disappointed people in here. We can't end it like this. Like we can't just be one and done and have our fans go from this is a magical season to well, we're just the Bears again. We're a fraud like everybody else said. That kid played with so much heart. He might have had the freaking play of the year with that going to the opposite way, throwing on the run, falling backwards, dime of a freaking play to keep that 4th and 12 alive to keep his team in the game. I was most impressed by his composure, where all we did was keep questioning him. Can he get it done? Is he the right guy? Everybody keeps questioning him. And what does he do? He stays composed. He believed in his guys. He had a pretty stoic interview at the end of the game. And hats off, man. Like, you got to be happy for Bears fan, whether you hate them or not as a Packers fan, because that team has suffered for a long time.
No. I'm sorry, but you don't have to.
No, you don't have to become a fan. You have to respect them.
Yeah, I hear that,
Yeah, respect
but you have to also not. You can't respect him when he comes up and says, "I fucking hate the Packers." I hate the
Honestly, what's his? But to that point, what is Ben Johnson's problem with the Packers?
I mean, when you coach in Detroit and you're trying to beat the team that's,
But he
boasting
also
to be a team
didn't
to
he
beat,
play against them a lot?
Yeah.
Didn't he play for Minnesota or something?
Yeah. But there's a lot of guys,
play? I mean,
there's a lot of
play.
old school heads that agree with it. They're like, we need this in football. We
need a
little
rivalry.
more. Yeah, we need a little more.
Yeah,
I don't
nothing.
like it.
I actually didn't mind it because I was like, I'm tired of the soft, like, oh yeah, my buddy, good job. It's like, no, yeah, come here. No, fuck you, asshole. Like, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I love the rivalry shit. I love when people talk smack to each other. This is a game. This is competitive sports. Yeah, after the season, if you see them hanging out, okay, whatever. But I'm all for it.
Well, that's fine, except for it doesn't seem like he has any animosity or competitiveness against anybody except the Packers.
But it's their biggest rivalry.
Because that's it, and it was.
But
their
why
biggest
not?
rivalry in
It's
Detroit,
just
too.
like you against the Cowboys. Like you're gonna feel the same
Yeah,
way.
but-
Like if you were running out to like the the middle field and shaking the guy, whoever the coach's hand, you're not gonna be like whatever. You're gonna shake and move like real quick.
Right, but I would have the same approach to the Eagles and the Commanders.
I don't know. Maybe that's their most heated rivalry.
I understand that, but there's no
that's like
animosity
Michigan.
to Vikings.
I don't believe.
But that's what I'm saying.
I don't believe you there. I don't believe you that you would show the same amount of animosity both ways or neutrality towards all teams. You know that you have a hatred for the Cowboys. You know that that's ingrained. So for him, he just said, we need to hate this team, so we hate losing to this team. And his team embraced that. Same thing when they played Detroit. It's like, hey, just because I was my former team, I don't give a shit. Put you down, put on their throat, put them away, right? And that's what we see with this Bears team.
I almost think that the Bears and the Packers are like probably one of the biggest rivalries in football. I mean,
They called it the oldest one.
so it's like that's why it's like Michigan, Ohio State. Yeah, Michigan's other rivals, little brother Michigan State, and then of course, like you're gonna hate Ohio State just as more and hate Ohio State fans more because it's his most heated rivalry. So yeah, I mean that's why the animosities are. The Packers have dominated that division, and that's pretty much that entire conference for 10 plus years. You have been at the bottom of other than the Super Bowl run. So I get it and I love it. I'm all here for it. I love trash talking. I like when like Jalen Carter. I love when the Niners and the Eagles before the game were talking shit. Like I love that. I love the chaos. I love the mess. Like give me it. Give me all the animosity. I love arguing. So you know me.
We talked about 5 of the games, but we haven't talked about the man that put the S on his chest and carried his team to victory.
Who?
About 400 miles north of here where we're doing the show.
Yes.
That guy,
Who, Josh?
yeah, that guy said, you know what? All he said that it's my year and I need to do this. And step one.
What did he say? I walk around with the S on my chest. He said, well, now, okay, so Gabe Davis is out. Mike and I were just talking about it. Gabe Davis is out. Shavers is out. And they're down to 3 receivers on the. So basically, Josh is going to be like,
Two tight ends.
he can be like Louis Miles.
Yeah.
He can throw. He can pass. He can. And he
Louis Miles
can
can do it
run.
all.
And he can pass. Like, Josh's going to do it all. He's going to block. He's going to throw it up to himself. Remember when you were a kid and you were throwing the ball up to yourself?
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be Josh running down the field in Mile High.
He just moonshot that one.
Finds himself downfield.
It's like I was saying to a lot of people here is that it's worrisome for me because Josh got his ass kicked that game.
Yeah.
He got
Against
his knee.
the most physical team he would play this season other than the Pats in the AFC.
No,
right?
Houston.
Correct.
Houston sacked him
you're
8 times.
Yeah.
They kicked his ass. Like, and that's the fearful part of a Bills
He may
fan.
have to play them again.
He may have to play him in the AFC Championship.
In Houston. So there's going to be a championship game hosted in Texas, and guess who it ain't? The fucking Cowboys.
But no, you just look at. I mean, he gets his head sat on, and in the first quarter, you get his knee twisted up. You get his hand smacked across his own player's helmet. Like the dude is just getting his ass kicked.
He
And I
got
understand.
pretty hard on that hip on that push to the goal line.
Yeah, he
That
fell
little
on
touch
his
push, he
hip.
felt
Like,
it real hard there.
but
Yep.
my concern with that is that you can only, and I know a lot of Bills fans will say we want Josh to be Josh, but you have to have Josh
Available.
To be Josh.
because I mean, like, I'll be honest. I was watching it with Tommy on Sunday. I'm like, he had a concussion, but concussions are only for certain players. Like, if you were like the third string receiver, that's who it's going to be.
Yeah,
So
'cause, like how many? I can't remember who said it to me, but they're like, how many people went into that blue tent to drag Josh out to get him back on the field? I honestly, when he got the knee injury, the way he reacted at first, I'm like, oh no, he just tore his ACL.
Up in flames. Yep.
Right.
well, he definitely tore something. There's something.
Oh yeah,
torn
there's
in-
something. Yeah.
He's going to need off-season surgery somewhere. So,
It's going
but that team's going
feel
up.
perfect if he's staring at a little ring after he gets out of surgery. So
Yeah,
we'll see where this goes.
See what the team is available. So
it's a tough road ahead.
But I mean, you have the Bills at Broncos. You got Seahawks and Niners, which was a great showdown in the last week of the year. It's going to be another great showdown. We're going to see is the momentum from winning in Philadelphia going to carry the Niners. We'll talk more about the matchups this weekend on Thursday. But there's a lot of coaching changes. The coaching carousel begins in NFL, and one of the long-standing coaches in Mike Tomlin is no longer a Pittsburgh Steeler. But there is some news about that. If a team tries to sign Mike Tomlin, the Steelers will have to trade for him.
Wow.
So who's in the I mean, the Steelers are in the driver's seat because until his contract's up, he can't sign with another team unless traded.
How many more years in the contract?
I don't know that.
I'll look it up.
I think he wants to step away. I think when you're under such a long tenure, and let's state the obvious, right? His success being middle of the pack hurt the Steelers for way too long because they couldn't get their guy in the draft that they needed. They needed to try and get that QB that can turn things around for them. They weren't an attractive team for a free agent quarterback to come in there, despite the defense, because they just didn't have any weapons.
But why though? So, they had the weapons. They have DK. They went and got DK.
Yeah, but they went and got him, right? And that was later. I'm talking like in that span
like when Ben.
The mediocre span, they kept losing by 21 points in the playoffs. They're getting blown out because they just don't have the quarterback to compete with the elite guys in the AFC. And that middle of the pack thing hurt them for like 5-6 years. So it's not to Tomlin's chagrin that he's playing well enough or coaching his guys well enough to be 500, but it hurts the team in the long run to build a Super Bowl caliber team. So you know that they're going to make the playoffs, but you always know the ending with them and have known it for the last 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at who you're going to pick up next. And I think it's time for a new regime, a new person, a new mindset. They've been doing the same thing over and over and over again the last 6 or 7 years. 500 to 9-8, right? So there was time for a change. I think he was done. He looked worn out. But the biggest question is who's going to be at the helm next year, right? A lot of people say, let's go give this kid Will Howard a chance. He sat behind Rodgers all year. We don't know what he's capable of. He's got great weapons on the outside. He's got a good running back duo.
By committee, yeah.
He's got a great defense.
Great tight ends.
Right. You got Freiermuth. You got
Washington.
Who's a mammoth
monster
of a person. I personally think they're going to go get Jesse Minter from the Chargers.
That would make a lot of sense, honestly.
I don't think they're going to go with a coach that's tried a head coaching position because look at their past. They never go with a coach that's already had head coaching. They go with a guy that this is pretty much their first time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Bill Cowher was maybe a head coach before that, but
in college or pro?
I think pro.
Okay.
But I see Jesse Minter getting the job. I see him because he's a defensive-minded guru. Look at the Chargers' defense. That was the best part of their team this year.
Yeah.
The reason why that game was so close on Sunday night was because their defense kept them in that game. Mm-hmm. So I could see him leaving, going to take that job, go to Steel Town, look what he's getting. He's getting a Cadillac of a defense.
I could actually see if the Niners make a Super Bowl run, I could see Robert Saleh getting the job.
I just don't see them hiring someone that was already head coach.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's never been there, and it's still the Rooneys. So I totally agree because also it brings that kind of northern hard-nosed type of defensive style that the Steelers have always benefited from. So that I hadn't thought of Minter as an option, but that's actually a great choice. Also, I saw the expectation is that Saleh's probably getting the Raiders job.
Okay.
To answer the two questions from before, Tomlin has 2 years left. It's next season and then a team option for 27, which if they're planning on – I know he's not planning on coaching next season, but if he has any plans to coach the year after, I'm sure they would exercise the option so that they have that trading, right? And then Cowher, That was his only head coaching spot.
Wow.
He had 4 jobs as a coach total. A special teams coach in 85, 86 with the Browns, became their DB coach 87,
So he's
88.
with Belichick.
No, Belichick was still with the Giants at that point. Then the DC for the Chiefs from 89 to 91, and then 92 to 06 as the Steelers head coach. That's it. So, yeah, I said it earlier when we were in our group chat when we first were talking about Tomlin stepping down. I'm curious as to see if he'll go the way of Cowher and just never coach again. I know he's supposed to get a TV job next year.
And you'd be comfy sitting down there with no stress, just to call a game.
Right.
A lot of them just like that. Show up and I don't need to do anything but just call an entertaining game.
Yeah, so, I mean, this comes a question. I mean, would you rather be – I mean, it goes back to a question that we've talked about. Would you rather be a head coach or a dominant OC or DC? Like, that's where you really get the pain points. I mean, now we're seeing the last of – I mean, there's only a few coaches left that have been in their role for –
A long time.
9+ years. That's Reed, McVay, and Shanahan.
Yeah.
So would you look at that's 3? There's 29 teams that are that.
Would have been Harbaugh, but he's gonna be somewhere
But
else.
that's what I'm
now in the
saying.
same
There's
place.
only 3 teams. So is it like are we
A change of the guard completely here.
and why are teams not settling on a coach in the sense of giving them a chance?
Because everybody's impatient and everybody wants to win now, and it's impossible for everybody to win. So we're in the era of impatience. We see it in sports, in the landscape of sports. Give me that quarterback next, not you. Give me the next. No quarterback's getting 2 years to get the job done in this transfer portal in the college game. Everything is going to win now. Give me the product now. I want it now. Give me the best coach now. We need to win now. How can you do that? Only one team can win the freaking division, and in this case, the NFC West got 3 teams in because of how bad the NFC South and NFC East were this year, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and you look at the through line of those 3 coaches you mentioned, they've either won, in Reed's case multiple times, in McVay's case once, or in Shanahan's case have been there multiple times. So it's just they feel confident with those coaches. The rest of the organizations, yeah, they're impatient. And if you don't get them there in the first 2-3 years, they're ready to move on to whoever they think might be the next one to do that. Until they find
Didn't Aaron
someone.
Glenn get fired too?
No, they decided
kept
to
him.
stick by him.
yeah.
Well, I don't see why not. Like, I understand only having 1 pick for a year is pretty crazy, but
None.
none,
Yeah,
no picks.
none.
Like, only having none is pretty crazy. But like, you traded away. There were so many injuries on the side of the ball. You didn't have a quarterback. Justin Fields basically was Justin Fields,
Yeah, it's the fill-in.
right?
It's the fill-in for a year to
right.
figure it out.
So you're not giving him anything. I think that's my problem. Is a lot of these teams aren't even close to being a winning franchise yet. The Raiders are almost there, but they're not there yet. They're still probably 2-3 years away. They need to hit on their next head coach because if not, Max Crosby's gone. Genty's probably not going to resign. Like, you're going to see a lot of these guys just start to dwindle away, and then the Raiders go back into a revolving door. So the Jets, you keep going through all these coaches, and you keep not setting the team up for success. I just don't. I personally don't understand it. Look at the Eagles. I mean, we got Vic Fangio. He's not going anywhere. He's had thousands of jobs.
Yep.
This will probably be his last job with the Eagles. That's who I want the Eagles to go get, is an OC that's maybe doesn't have more aspirations of being a head coach, but has a great mindset. Like, I would love for us to go get Mike McDaniel, but most likely he's gonna what?
That's who I was gonna bring up.
Mike McDaniel, but I think he's going to get a head coaching job. There's too many vacancies.
Would you consider Josh McDaniel?
Josh McDaniels with the
I know, but
Patriots.
He's not gonna leave.
he's not going to leave. The
If he
Patriots.
became available, I think you would consider him, but he's not going to leave.
I mean, he hasn't been great as a head coach, though.
No. So, but he's one of those cases where he's a great OC, just not a great.
But he's also tried it
head
out,
coach.
and he's young enough now where he knows where his role is.
Yeah.
So he knows sitting on a variable is where he needs to be. And okay, I'll go win a bunch of championships for you and be a dominant. I mean, I just don't look at Steve Spagnuolo. Like, he's done it for years with Reed, and he loves it. He's like, why not? Right. So I just guess who's going to be the next coach of the Steelers and the Ravens. How funny would it be if Harbaugh went to the Steelers and Tomlin was
swap.
That'd be,
I mean, Harbaugh makes the most sense. I just don't know if he wants to stay in that division and kind of just it's rinse and repeat with a different uniform, right? It's like, what's really changed? And you go into a situation where your quarterback's much worse. Like, why would he take that? So I think Miami's his landing destination. Miami also has a lot to figure out from the quarterback position coming up here. They would be smart to try and make an aggressive move for the best free agent in a year, Lamar Jackson. So there's a lot of teams out there that would probably be smart to make an aggressive move for him when he's just about to be going into the twilight prime where he has maybe 2 or 3 years to get it done and get you to maybe an AFC championship game once or twice in his time there if you sign him on a 3-year deal. But it's going to be a really interesting offseason. I think we're going to have a lot of musical chairs, right? We'll see some changes that maybe shock us. Teams have a lot to figure out from the quarterback position, and it's going to be the talk where the draft isn't going to supply teams with what they need. But I'll tell you what, because we have to talk about it. Tell them, Frankie, baby. Let's talk about those Thursday and Friday games just for a little bit, because golly, those games were freaking awesome. Because I know how people don't
What game
like
were you watching on Friday?
I know how people don't like a blowout, but I love when a team just shows you how dominant they are and they don't take their foot off the pedal. And to me, that's a team that says, you cannot beat us. Like, I don't care what your game script is.
The crazy part is
how fast you are, you can't beat us.
What the crazy part is, if you don't have those 3 turnovers, that game is a pretty much even game.
Somewhat, because they have to also capitalize.
I'm saying the turnovers, they can't. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like, Oregon has to capitalize.
4 turnovers, in the first half.
But it's a game if Oregon's offense can get more than field goals, because Indiana's going to get it back and score. Yeah. It's not going to be at that rate.
They just couldn't move the ball, and Dan Lanning is, again, left short in the college football playoff.
What's the combined score in that stadium for Dan Lanning? 94 to...
Well, it was during the game. It was like 98-8
or something crazy. Yeah.
It was 98-8 or something like that. Yeah. But now it's probably in the 100 and whatever the score was, plus whatever they scored.
Well, they lost to Georgia. I think it was 42-3, and then they 56. So it's 98. What they score? How many points they scored? 10, 98, 13, or something like that.
Yeah,
that's insane.
It's. I love Curt Cignetti as a coach because he's got this team so ready to just win the next game. Like, they weren't, after that game, they could have, talked a bunch of shit. They could have stood on pageantry and just been like, look at us, look how great we are. And like everybody they talked to, Cignetti, Mendoza, Becker.
Job's not done yet.
Right, job's not done yet, which I love seeing. And stop. I know that they're the betting favorite now, but everybody needs to just stop doubting Indiana. They're good. Like, just admit they're good. Because
all right.
They're in the conversation for one of the greatest teams of all time.
Right, they were talking about 2019 LSU team in comparison to...
that LSU team would roll.
Yeah, they would, but...
Indiana's point differential is already 85 plus on that team.
But LSU...
And the quality of opponent was obviously better, right? Because LSU was playing in a much more competitive SEC at that time.
Right.
But this team just rolled people out. They had one fumble all season long that they lost in week 1 in the first half.
Yeah.
That's it. They take care of the ball. They freaking hit you in the jugular when you think that they're about to methodically move it down the field. Like, nope.
The interesting part is they're going to play a team that is identically similar to them. Miami, I think, is going to get rolled by them, but they're identically similar in the sense of how they play, how aggressive they are. But I'll be honest with you, Ole Miss deserved the ball at the 10-yard line.
Damn right they did.
With a chance. I'm
Damn
sorry,
right they
but when look at continuity. You have to keep the same calls. If you're going to call that same call in the first quarter, it has to be the same at the end of the game. I'm all for the hand checking, going like this with each other. But when you grab someone like this at the 5 and drive them to the back of the end zone, that's a penalty all day. Sorry. That's a penalty. Like that, I can't fathom how ridiculous that is. And I'm all for the refs swallowing the whistle and not making it into their game. But you have to call what's right. And Ole Miss deserved a chance to have the ball at the 10-yard line with a chance to win the game there. And the refs screwed them. Not that they would have won, but a chance.
You never know.
They get the ball down at the 10. You never know what play they're going to run. They got no seconds on the clock. Just... their trickiest play ever.
For everything, exactly.
Yeah, so that game was really exciting. Obviously, Friday was a blowout. Background noise at this point. So.
I disagree with a little bit about Miami's approach, because remember I was telling you that stat where Miami's the first team ever in CFP history to have 4 drives of 13 plays or more, which basically they said is your offense is so explosive. our best defense is to keep you on the bench.
Yeah.
So Trinidad, you can't harm us if you can't throw the ball. I think they're going to try and do the same thing to Indiana. Will they be as successful? No, because Ole Miss's defense is not as tough. They don't have the same playmakers, and they definitely don't have this hunger to get after the ball like Indiana does. However, we know that Mario Cristobal has one intent, and that is keep the damn offense off the field. So he's going to try and make it a slow, boring game, and they're not going to match Indiana's style at all, because the way they win is for Mendoza to have as few drives as possible in the first half, so they believe they're still in the game at the start of the second half.
Yep. Well, as football, surrounds the United States and the world at this point, some other news happened in the world of sports with my guy Brooks Koepka coming back to the PGA Tour.
He's back.
And I'm ecstatic. I'm happy he's back. He deserves to be back. Look, I'm all for go get your money and then come on back. Like that, everyone knows what the real golf tour in the world is, and that's the PGA Tour. Nothing tops that. Liv is, I think, backwards on their money right now. From what I read, I feel
and
a few months ago.
And now they're playing 4 days now. They're going back to a 72-hole format.
Right, they're doing exactly what
they're doing the PGA now.
They just can't compete with it. Mm-hmm. Yes, you had the guys like Jon Rahm, you had Bryson DeChambeau, but the best thing about the PGA Tour is being able to see these guys every single week. When you only get like a few weeks, plus they're not on TV. They're on like CW or some other things that some people don't have. So it just was never. It was
team format sucked. It looked like
it's stupid.
The branding was terrible. They looked like a darts team or something, right? It's like,
it just looks dumb. Like it all looks dumb. No one in golf really liked it. Yes, you liked the music before, the shorts wearing. I'm all for. But like everything else about that tour is just not, in my opinion, not something I would like. But the PGA Tour, Brooksy's back, and I'm enjoying that. Bryson and Jon Rahm might be coming back as well, but they're playing. They get some exemptions into a couple of events this year. Is this the demise of Live Golf?
In the same vein as it was the demise of the AFL, yes. I think there'll be some sort of agreement, and they'll be absorbed, and some of those sponsors will come over. Maybe some of the money will come over from Live, but yeah, it'll just become just an expansion of the PGA Tour, and maybe they'll add some tournaments.
Well, I mean, I think also too, like it's kind of funny. Everyone was like, in golf, we've been waiting on this Live PGA merger, and the PGA has been holding out, and now I kind of see why, because they know guys are going to start being like, "Nah, I'm good.
I got my money."
I think the most they could probably do is look to market the Ryder Cup and take it to a destination over there where they were playing those tournaments. Like take that tournament outside of Europe and the United States and make it a global event somewhere else. Like you can stretch and try something like that with the help of Live and their organizers and the event organizers that help manage things over there. But I'm interested to see what happens is if you're penalizing players right now that are coming back, when the league dissolves, how do you treat it any different? Do you still have to follow through with the same bystandards, even though Liv's not there anymore? You can't just slap X on the wrist and tell why, oh, well, you actually just came at the right time because it's dissolved now.
It's all player dependent, right? Like a Taylor Gooch is not going to have the same opportunity to come back to the PGA Tour because of how much he slandered it. And it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with this. Right. Who can put people in the stands? Are you coming to see Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and Brooks Koepka, or Taylor Gooch?
Yeah.
Right? You're not coming to see Taylor. You're coming to see those three. So there's going to be certain players that are going to be denied access, but there's going to be certain players like Jon Rahm who honestly needs to be back on the PGA Tour because he has not looked good in world events, in the majors. He has not looked good at all, and he was playing his best golf when he was on the PGA Tour. But I get it. If someone waved me $750 million in my face and said, hey, come here, work less, enjoy your family, we're still going to pay you the money, and you get ownership in the Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds like a pretty good
You're
deal.
sitting down with your wife, and she's probably saying, "Why do we need to have a family talk about this?"
Right. You said yes, right?
When do we move?
So, Mikey, how about you act like Rory McIlroy here for a second here, mate?
Yes.
And the question I'm asking you is, do you feel like you're the one that made the best choice? Are you walking around with a big chip on your shoulder here now?
100%. I won tournaments while they were gone.
Do you feel,
No.
do you feel threatened though?
No.
He
No,
loves
because
it. He loves it. He
Yeah.
wants him back.
So you believe it's going to help his game?
yeah, I think the more competition, the better he'll play. I think the more challenge he wants these guys back because they're some of the best golfers in the world, and why wouldn't I want to play with the best in my field? It's like, okay, do I want to play in AAA or do I want to play in the MLB? It's like, I want to play against if I want to become a better player, I have to play against better players so that I'm challenged and I can learn.
I feel if he had a good sense of humor, he would put a golf head that had the number 54, because that's what Liv is, with the poop emoji
54.
next to it. LIV is 54 holes. That's what the
Oh.
LIV is. It was meant to be 54. That's what they got Liv
I never
from.
got that.
You know what?
Yeah,
I
that's what they
never
got from.
picked up on that.
Yeah. So if you got a
more you
golf
know.
head club with 54 and put the poop emoji next to it, I think that'd rub it into the guy's faces all year long.
And I bet you could sell them.
I just do the mic drop every time. It's like, bitch. I told you not to do
I bet you could sell a bunch of those.
But
too.
honestly, after seeing the Brooks come back and everything, it makes sense why the PGA's been pushing off their meetings with the
Yes.
Liv merger, and I'm like, why are they, why?
Why wait?
Yeah, why are you waiting? Come on, let's go, let's get this going. It's like, okay,
No, they're right. They're like, nah, we're gonna wait them out. They're dying off. We're just gonna and that's why I say it'll just be an absorption. Like, hey, Liv, do you want to survive in any capacity? Come here.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
So I mean, Koepka's back. We got college football national championship on Monday. We got divisional games on Thursday. Or no, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday.
No more Thursday, Friday football this week, bud. We got to just go back to the normal
I'm
weekend
lost
schedule.
right now, to be
What
honest
are
with
we?
you.
What are we
At
supposed
least
to
we
do?
still got 3 days of football. We got
I finally joined you guys in Cancun.
We got one more Monday.
So it's going to be a jam-packed weekend. Make sure you tune into the socials as usual. We'll be dropping content daily at Single Squad Pod 05. We'll see you guys here.
One more thing. OKC, the Spurs are playing. The Spurs are the OKC killers so far this season. They play again tonight. Let's see if they can beat them for the 4th time in a row this season.
Jeez.
All right, well, let's see what happens. Jamie might do a post here later about it. So we'll talk here on Thursday, right? Thursday?
Yes,
yeah.
Thursday.
All right.
One,
Single Squad out.